The U.S. Supreme Court has just issued a major ruling.
And today, the Supreme Court has answered that question by a vote of 6-3.
Everybody has a right if they're a responsible adult.
Major Second Amendment case.
The ruling that changed every traffic stop. Imagine starting your day like any other, grabbing your keys, heading to work, not knowing that the rules for every single traffic stop in America have just changed forever. 9 Supreme Court justices who almost never agree on anything joined together for a decision so powerful it sent shockwaves through every police department in the country. No political noise, no media spin, just a ruling that forces the entire nation to rethink what police can and cannot do the moment those red and blue lights flash behind you. This decision protects your rights, your freedom, and your safety in ways most people have never understood until now. If you drive a car, if you have a family on the road, or if you simply value your constitutional rights, this is the one ruling you cannot afford to ignore. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video because what you are about to learn could change every future police encounter you ever have. Chapter 1. A country caught off guard. Across America, people were stunned when news broke of a rare 9-0 Supreme Court ruling. The headlines spread like wildfire, and everyone could feel that something monumental had shifted overnight. In a nation so divided, a decision this unified is almost unheard of. But this was not about politics or ideology. It struck at something far deeper than it touched the daily life of every American. This ruling affects every driver, no matter what state they live in. It instantly rewrites how police conduct traffic stops across the nation. It restores rights and protections that millions never realized they were losing. It sends a clear, unambiguous message. Freedom still matters. This was more than a legal update. It was a wake-up call to the entire country. For the first time in years, citizens could see that the Supreme Court was willing to defend constitutional rights in a way that impacts everyday life. Chapter 2. The ordinary stop that sparked a revolution. It began with one man on one road, on what seemed like an ordinary day. Nothing dangerous, nothing dramatic. Just a routine traffic stop for a minor issue. But what happened next is something millions of Americans have quietly experienced and rarely questioned. The officer extended the stop long after the original reason was complete. The driver felt trapped and confused with no explanation. Minutes stretched into an uncertain waiting game with no legal justification. A K-9 unit was called, despite no real evidence of wrongdoing. What should have been a simple traffic stop turned into a tense, anxious experience. What happened to him may seem small, but it echoes the silent frustration of countless Americans who have felt powerless in similar situations. This ordinary moment became the spark for a nationwide legal revolution. Chapter 3. The question that reached the highest court. The lower courts were divided. Some ruled that the officer was simply being cautious. Others called it a blatant violation of the Constitution. The legal confusion was so extreme that the Supreme Court had to step in and deliver a definitive answer. The case asked whether the Fourth Amendment still offers real protection. It asked whether ordinary citizens were unknowingly surrendering their rights. It questioned if fear and uncertainty had quietly replaced the rule of law. It forced the nation to confront a widespread problem in everyday policing. The court realized this was not just about one driver or one stop. It was about clarifying the law for every American and ensuring constitutional protections are meaningful and enforceable. Chapter 4. The 9-0 verdict that shook the system. In a historic moment, all 9 justices agreed. The ruling was direct, unambiguous, and so powerful that police departments across all 50 states had to respond immediately. There was no division, no split opinion. The message was crystal clear. The Constitution sets limits, and those limits must be respected. A driver must be released once the purpose of the stop is complete. Officers cannot extend stops hoping to discover additional offenses. Nervous behavior alone does not qualify as reasonable suspicion. Real, observable evidence is required before detaining someone further. This ruling served as a reminder that the government answers to the people, not the other way around. It reinforced the principle that authority is bounded by law and that citizens have rights that cannot be ignored. Chapter 5. What officers can still do. This decision does not handcuff law enforcement. It restores balance between authority and individual rights. Police still have duties that are critical to public safety, and the court clarified exactly what powers they retain. Officers can check driver documentation such as licenses and registration. They can run necessary background checks. They can issue tickets or warnings for violations. They can act immediately if they observe danger or criminal activity. The ruling allows law enforcement to continue performing their duties effectively while simultaneously protecting citizens from overreach. It is a win-win for public safety and constitutional rights. Chapter 6. What officers can no longer do. The real impact of this ruling is in what officers are now prohibited from doing. For decades, many police departments operated in gray areas where rules were unclear. That confusion has now ended. The Supreme Court has set a clear, nationwide standard. Officers cannot extend a stop without a legitimate, lawfully justified reason. They cannot stretch the time of a stop, hoping to uncover unrelated crimes. They cannot call in K-9 units unless there is prior evidence or reasonable suspicion. They cannot turn a minor violation, such as a broken taillight, into a fishing expedition. This change protects ordinary people from subtle, quiet abuses of power that previously went unchecked. It ensures that the law is followed, not bent for convenience or assumption. Chapter 7. The line between legal and illegal stops. Understanding what counts as reasonable suspicion has long been confusing for both citizens and law enforcement. The Supreme Court simplified it. Real evidence and real danger justify a stop. Feelings, hunches, or guesses do not. Acceptable reasons include visible illegal items. Acceptable reasons include immediate threats or signs of intoxication. Acceptable reasons include clear indicators of criminal activity. Unacceptable reasons include gut feelings, nervousness, or vague suspicion. The court made one thing abundantly clear: facts matter, emotions do not. This clarity now gives every American a concrete understanding of their rights during traffic stops. Chapter 8. How this ruling protects you. For the first time in many years, millions of Americans finally have clear, simplified guidance on what they can say and what they can refuse during a traffic stop. This ruling removes the fog of confusion that has caused fear, panic, and hesitation for decades. People often freeze up not because they did anything wrong, but because they don't know what the officer can legally demand and what they can legally decline. Now, the Supreme Court has drawn a bright line, and that line protects you. You now know the exact words that guard your freedom. You can ask if you are being detained. You can ask if you are free to go. You cannot be held without a lawful, specific reason. You can remain silent if the officer claims you are detained. These are not confrontational questions. These are constitutional questions. And when you use them correctly, the entire tone of the stop changes. Instead of fear, you feel clarity. Instead of confusion, you feel control. Instead of guessing your rights, you speak them with confidence. Knowledge turns fear into control. And that is the true power of this ruling. It restores calm where anxiety used to live. It turns a stressful moment into a legally protected exchange. It gives ordinary Americans the ability to stand on solid ground, no matter who is standing in front of them. Chapter 9. The Ripple Effect. Across America. Legal experts across the country agree this ruling is only the beginning. A decision of this scale does not stay confined to one area of law. It pushes outward. It shapes future cases. It forces agencies to rethink long-standing practices. This ruling will influence far more than traffic stops. Its impact may spread into many areas of American life where detention and searches take place. Airport security procedures may face renewed scrutiny. Border stops may be required to follow tighter limits. Firearm transportation inspections may need stronger justification. Future digital privacy battles may rely on this ruling as a legal foundation. Why does this matter? Because once the Supreme Court sets a boundary, the entire justice system must respect it. Lower courts adjust their decisions, law enforcement agencies rewrite their policies, and the everyday American begins to experience a more balanced relationship between public safety and personal liberty. This case is about much more than driving. It is about defining the limits of government power in a world where technology moves fast and privacy becomes harder to protect. It signals to every agency in the country that the Constitution still wins. Chapter 10. The Message. Every American must remember. This ruling does not attack the police. It does not weaken law enforcement. What it does is strengthen the justice system for everyone by ensuring the rules are clear and the freedoms of the public are not optional. It reminds every officer and every citizen that authority must always operate within the boundaries of the Constitution. And it empowers ordinary Americans to stand tall, stay calm, and exercise their rights with dignity. The Fourth Amendment still protects you. The Supreme Court reaffirmed your freedom. You must know your rights to use them. Calm confidence is your strongest protection. America was built on the belief that freedom belongs to the informed, not the silent, not confused, but the information. And now, because you have learned the meaning of this ruling, you are one of them. You are no longer guessing. You are no longer unsure. you are prepared. Thank you for watching and for taking your rights seriously today. Most people drive their entire lives without understanding the protections the Constitution gives them. By staying informed, you safeguard yourself and your loved ones. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video so more people learn the truth behind this landmark ruling. Stay safe, stay aware, and I will see you in the next video.